Justine from The Armed Gamer, and I am here with the developers of Immune Defense game. It's a really interesting game. Its Kickstarter is going on right now, and apparently today is the last day. So why don't you two introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about what you do for the game.
Awesome. I'm Melanie Stegman. I'm a biochemist. We got funding from the National Institutes of Health to make this game, and we have a prototype. It's available for free online, and we're working to commercialize it, make it more popular. So I started a company called Molecular Jake Games.
I'm John Biddle. I'm actually a physicist by training, but I'm kind of like the on-demand developer to help Melanie out with her game. You know, actually, I didn't know much biochemistry at all until I actually started playing her first prototypes. I was like, yeah, what is a neutrophil? And it's like, and then when you realize you can use things like that to go after pathogens in a tower defense type games, like, oh, yeah, this is really cool. So I'm helping out.
Awesome. And how grounded in science is this game? Like, am I going to go in there expecting to learn about the parts of the cell, or is that how cells actually function in the game?
Yes, everything in here is accurate. If you get a book called Basic Immunology by Lichtman, you'll notice everything in here is accurate, and that's the best model we had, the best book we had.
Great, and what inspired you guys to make this game?
Let her speak for this, because she's been working on it much longer than I have.
Yeah, I started working on this game, started working in game development in 2008. I was a biochemist in a lab before then, and I was working on tuberculosis. And for TB, we've got drugs that cure TB, but what we don't have is a political will to get those drugs to everybody in the world that needs them. That's what the Gates Foundation is doing right now. And I think if more people understood cells, receptors, and proteins, then we could all raise our level of understanding of modern research, modern medicine. You know, when my mom went to the hospital, the doctors were telling her cancer was fatal. They said there's a trial we could put you in. We have a plasmid that we could inject. And I said, oh, what kind of plasmid? And the doctor was like, what? How do you know what a plasmid is? I'm like, we should all know what medicine is available before we're terminal. So I really want the average person to understand how proteins work inside the body.
So do you have a background with biochemistry and all this?
Yeah, I have a PhD and a postdoc, 10 years lab experience. If you need to know anything about how fruit flies develop and how cancer gets started based on genes that cause you to develop, I can help you out there.
Great, and you said you were a physicist by trade.
That's right.
What got you involved with this? Like, why did you decide to join the immune defense game development?
So you know what, like, you look at this game and you look at these various things in biochemistry, and it's like, I guess if you try to learn in a formal way, it looks very weird and complicated, but if you look down in it, there's some really interesting game mechanics there, potential game mechanics, about the fact that, like, you take a tower and you try to get it to co-opt it to go after your enemies by using signals. It's like, that's pretty cool. And so, like, there's so much potential here. So that's kind of what drew me onto this,
That's great, yeah, and I've honestly never seen a game like this before, where it's, a lot of these style strategy games are very grand and broad, and this feels like it's actually going down, and it just, I think, really shows what's going on in the body and how epic that is.
I mean, there's enough like RTS about soldiers and with guns or bazookas, like, that's kind of been done to death, in some sense. I mean, no offense to those games, I do like Command and Conquer, but
you know what else though? When you're playing like Cellcraft and Command and Conquer, you're like sending these guys out, and you're like seeing it from the Uber view. You're the commander. You really want to like go down and see it through their eyes, a little first-person perspective. And so I added that as much as possible. When you get to the higher levels, you can see a big area that you're commanding, but then you can also zoom in really close and see the actual molecules. And I wanted to give the strategy player that neat feeling of being on the ground.
That's great, and I know you guys are on Kickstarter right now. What's your step after that? Like, are you guys successfully funded yet?
No, we are not successfully funded yet. 10% of people who watch our Kickstarter video pledge. We've got a huge conversion rate. It's just getting the word out. So, but our plan is to scrounge up enough money to put out this game on tablets. And I really want to be on Steam, but I want to be able to add cool, we have some GUI elements we want to add. and modify before we go on Steam.
And do you see this being used as an education tool in the future? Like, do you think like science teachers would pick this up and give it to their kids?
Yeah, we think so. I mean, like, there's so many concepts that are being taught in just very simple manner. This game is based on, intuitive learning where, basically kids get familiar with concepts without necessarily knowing what the terms are. And then a teacher can easily come in and say, hey, here, I'll fill in the gaps. And it works very well. And actually, Melanie has shown this in some other studies. And so I think teachers and educators will like it a lot. But, we're also thinking that any science enthusiast or anyone who just wants to play a strategy game will also be interested in this. And so we're working on, the level balancing and all this stuff to make all these game mechanics work just right. So that, you're having fun while at the same time, like, oh yeah, that's right, that's how the immune system works kind of thing. That's what we're doing.
All right, and that's great. So where online can we find you? I'm assuming it's Kickstarter.com/
Actually, immunedefensegame.com. Immunedefensegame.com will always be where the free demo is. Any teacher can assign this 20-minute experience and have this, intuitive experience. So immunedefensegame.com. Kickstarter until 11 o'clock tonight.
Yes, right now it'll take you to our Kickstarter page where it'll have the link to the demo. But
Actually, we're gonna do an Indiegogo page like in the next 2 hours and collect up all the money that people want us to have. And we have some friends that want to donate the rest. So we're gonna scrounge this up and make this happen. And so Indiegogo will have an immune defense project real soon.
Yeah. But no matter what happens on Kickstarter, this is going to happen. So.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys heard that. Make sure you check out IndieDefenseGame.com for their awesome game. It looks really cool. So I'll put the links down in the video or down in the video description. Make sure you check out Arm Gamer channel for more indie game coverage here at MAGFest 13. Have a good day.